Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Luffy Murdoch here, and here to do the first ever episode of Anime Smash. Now, that's a name in work in progress, so if I decide to change the name or whatever in the future, you'll obviously see and know about in the title. But this is basically me doing like a solo podcast for the meantime, anyway. Just discussing and talking about like anime that I've watched. It doesn't have to be like the latest anime or anything like that. It could be like random animes and stuff. Um, I like the idea of like putting loads of like anime like series or whatever, and being like just freely being able to talk really in this type of format. Because I don't really like doing anime reviews week to week or like or episode by episode, particularly in one thing. And I know this may be some things that you may not like people may not watch or anything like that. But this is basically just a like I don't know roundup like vlog type thing that I'm doing in a minute. So I could just talk about like all the latest anime or and like anime I've watched throughout the week and give you my thoughts and opinions on it. So I can focus some other videos can focus on other things and different things in my videos. I know this won't get like amazing amount of views instantly. I know it's not really about that, but like I just think it'd be a fun idea that I love to do personally myself. Just talk, just like basically what I've talked about. Like I know it can be frustrating. Like I've listened to some anime podcasts. It's kind of hard to do anime podcasts really, because sometimes you just talk about something nobody knows what or subjects come along that you don't really know what's going on because you haven't watched that anime or read that manga. This is, by the way, this is anime and manga podcast, by the way, that could be doing currently. So, and I'll have random gameplay in the background every single time. Just it's just more of a like a listen thing, but this gameplay in the forefront of your screen, just if you wanna if you wanna like if you want to just watch something while I talk and stuff. I just play like random games like Batman, Arkham Knight, Spider-Man. I don't really like using anime games simply because the fact that they put their trademark logos in their corners and stuff, which is very annoying. But yeah, I'm not gonna complain. So yeah, it's just basically like a roundup and stuff. Like so, anything could be like from the title. You see what the topics I'll be talking about this week. Anyway, I don't know if this will be a weekly thing. Maybe I hopefully I'm gonna try and think it's a weekly thing. But yeah, this is basically just me talking about like random animes to watch, all the current animes or episodes or anything like that. So yeah, so if you haven't watched or caught up with anything I'm about to talk about, I don't know, just keep an open mind and stuff. It's pretty early stuff, and the stuff that I'm just like talking about is I don't know, yeah, it's reviews, like first impressions of that sort of thing. So yeah, this week's subject is Killer Kill review. I'll be reviewing the whole entire, or not reviewing the entire, or yeah, reviewing the anime, giving my thoughts and opinions on it. First 9 episodes of Magi, or first impressions of Magi, that is. Doctor Stone episode 3, Demon Slayer episode 16, One Piece episode 994. I'm basically giving my first impressions of like the Wano arc in the anime, and My Hero Academia chapter 135 and 136 because there's something to talk about. By the way, I'm not going to be talking about every single thing that I've watched. Like if I read a chapter or something like that, I'll let you know. But I won't be reviewing every like My Hero Academia chapter unless you guys want me to. But so yeah, let's get this show on the road. So the first thing I'll be talking about today is Killer Kill review of the entire anime. I've got to say I really enjoyed Killer Kill. The whole it's just such a quirky and unique like series. By the way, like I said, if you want, you can just put this. I recommend just putting this in the background, like playing a game, and listen to me play and think, oh, like random sounds won't come out of me or anything like that. so don't worry about that. Maybe PlayStation noises, but because I'm recording this on the PlayStation. But yeah, anyway, I'm stop rambling. And yeah, uh, I just loved like all the hallelujah moments with Miko, I believe her name is. I'm really bad at names with anime and that sort of thing, by the way. So I think you'll start to learn that very quickly. But the hallelujah moments were absolutely hilarious. I really like she made like a blink like situation, like a serious situation, like pretty funny and less serious. Now that may sound like a bad thing to begin with, but I think actually, I don't know, it made the show way more better in this case. Like, I can understand in a lot of like cases for other shows and stuff, like it may be sort of a bad thing to take that seriousness out of a fight. But I think this is a really good direction. And yeah, bear in mind this is like an anime that was released like in 2013 or 2013 to 2014. So yeah, I started watching it in Japanese, the first few episodes, but the problem with the Japanese version, there was a lot of dialogue at the bottom, and there was a lot going on the screen, and I couldn't catch up with it. I may be slow, that may be my own problem, but I just don't know. It wasn't making the experience unenjoyable, but it was just like slowing me down. You know what I mean? And I just didn't catch anything. So I thought I'll check to see like what's how the English version is. So I clicked on YouTube, and surprise, surprise, to my knowledge, Erica Mendes is the person who voices Ryuko. Ryuko is actually the same. Erica Mendes actually does the same voice for Gon from Hunter x Hunter, and Hunter x Hunter is my favorite anime of all time, and I really, just like enjoyed. Like, it holds a special place in my heart, and I really think she's done a really good job playing Gong in the anime. I haven't watched the whole thing in English dub. I've only watched it subbed, like for the meantime. But I was really impressed with it, and it really has a special place in my heart. And I recently found out the other anime that I'm currently watching, Magi. She plays Aladdin in, so I'll be watching the English dub version. I've been watching the sub version of that because unfortunately, Netflix only does Japanese, but considering for some reason it's going off in the 30th, and they have like a Netflix. I know it's going off topic for them to Kill a Kill review, but they're basically stopping the show on Netflix on the third end of this month. But I don't know. They have the original series of Sinbad. I don't think that's in the manga. I'm not really 200% sure, honestly, but I'll probably learn in the future. But I think it's a bit weird move. Like they have that, but they won't have the original series, and especially the original series in English is quite annoying. But anyway, yeah, I decided to instead of watching the English or Japanese version, just to watch the Japanese English. No, instead of watching the Japanese version, I decided to watch the English version instead. So yeah, my favorite character from Kill la Kill is definitely Ryuka. I'm sorry if I'm saying the name wrong, but yeah, Ryuko, I think that's the name. But yeah, I think I've seen a lot of people praise Sasuke or Sasuke a bit more. What turns out to be, by the way, spoilers, by the way, which turns out to be Ryuka's sister. I think, yeah, I thought she was Ryuka's character as well, but I just prefer Ryuka. She's really celebrates individualism and just to be her own person. And the whole entire message of the show is basically what I gathered. I've watched a really good video about it yesterday. Someone did a really good job explaining the hidden philosophy of it. You know what I mean? Basically we're programmed to wear clothes and that sort of thing, and it's just and clothes makes us the same. I don't know, that's kind of debatable because you can wear different clothes and stuff, but and it's all about a material gain, you gotta be wearing the latest Gucci clothing and that sort of thing. and the latest, I don't know, yeah, like Gucci or whatever. Like that was the main thing. Like back in like college a few years ago, I remember like someone in my course actually was just I don't know. He had a part time job and he wanted to and he told us like I think he must have went into like some Gucci like shop or whatever, and he almost bought like 3 pairs of tracky bottoms for like 3 grand, like the same ones as well. Like not 3 grand, like a grand or whatever. I don't know if it was Gucci or whatever, but it was expensive brands nonetheless. And he was like, oh, I didn't know what I was doing and that sort of thing, and like not to bully him or anything, but like he's like that is that constant pressure by like not really society but by people, maybe society or however you want to look at it really. And if how you look at it, it's like buy the latest like clothing and stuff, and yeah, look, and in my opinion honestly look ridiculous as ridiculous as possible in them certain clothings. So yeah, um the animation is really good. It's not really about the animation or visuals. Well, it is about the visuals, but like it's really creative, and it's not based on any manga. Despite there is a manga which I would love to collect one day, but it's not based on the manga. So this is not a show based around manga. This is a show based around, you know, um, just a TV show. It's like Cowboy Bebop and Evon Genesis and Evangelion. I know they both have mangas as well, but it was originally based as a TV show. But Neon Genesis Evangelion actually had a manga before the TV show. So yeah, um, like I really love the outfits as well. I don't know why. Yeah, like really like I don't know, really love the outfits and stuff. Like really love the way they're done and stuff. And yeah, like really good show, really good creativity in it, and yeah, and yeah, if you're actually watching this and you don't care about spoilers or anything like that, definitely watch this show. I thought I'll give this show a shot, just simply because you know, what do you call it, and the new games coming, or the new games coming out, which I wish I could buy, but I'm a broke ass mofo. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, the game is really good. By the way, it looks like the best ever. Like, what do you call it? Area fire. Like I have loads of arena fires, and definitely this is the best. It actually seems like something you can like play against your friends and have fun against. Other like the other lot. Like, I'm not saying the others are bad or anything like that, but I'm just mentioning like yeah. Um, but yeah. So definitely, like it's definitely one of my favorites. That's gonna be a favorite, one of my favorites of all time. Um, like in the future and stuff. When I briefly mention it, I want to do like more videos and Kill la Kill in the future. Like I want to like what I want to do with this channel is like do character discussions, like yeah, real original and that sort of thing. But I think I don't know. I just think it'd be fun. Just I don't know, yeah, just talk about Kill la Kill. Yeah, my favourite characters are Ryoka. The funny Mako is absolutely hilarious, and yeah, the villain's really good as well. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to my first impressions slash the first 9 episodes of Magi. And so yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Like I think this is a like thing that you don't have to take yourself seriously or anything like that. It's originally done by Shonen Sunday. I don't really know much about them. This is literally the only series I've got. Funny enough, I've actually got the first 2 volumes of Magi. I've never read them, but I just thought I don't know. I've heard good things about it, and I thought, well, I might as well like pick them up. I forget I'll have to have a read of them at one point. But yeah, the first 9 episodes of Magi are pretty good. It's nothing amazing or anything like that. I really like, you know, emotion. Like it's pretty like emotional type thing, sort of thing. Like you know, seeing the dynamic of slaves and that sort of thing, and basically like Aladdin, like like helping the pink haired girl like fight for freedom and that sort of thing, and yeah, just basically trying to sort out conflicts and that sort of thing, and Aladdin learning the harsh realities of the world. And yeah, like I said earlier, I will be switching to the English dub. I will probably give you my other impressions next week, or when I decide, the next episode of this anime smash to come out, or episode 2. But yeah, I will be switching to the English dub just because, Eric and Penders. I don't like. I don't know. I really like her voice, and it like reminds me of Gone. I think it's a bit simple, but yeah, like, and then it's like a latest role, playing as Gone. She's done Maggie and Kill la Kill like ages ago. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, um, I'll definitely, if you haven't like watched Maggie or anything like that, and you're like, oh, this is good. It's just a casual, nice watch, man. Especially, I'm gonna definitely watch in English. I did watch the first episode like 1 year ago, but I think I was like caught up with something else. Like a year ago or like 2 years ago or whenever I started watching Death Note, for some reason had a massive obsession with it. I think that happens with all of us, that we get gripped onto one series for a long time. And I've learned like late recently, like it's not, you need to branch out. You need to like get all the like toys in the shop and that sort of thing, and just like expand your world. And yeah, I'm really happy that I did, and I learned on this different new animes and that sort of thing. I want to watch Dora and Goblin Slayer possibly, and then Rising the Shield Hero. I think that's all the like latest anime this year. I didn't get to. Well, I've just been focused on other things and that sort of thing. Like early on, yeah. I wish I started watching it like when it came out, because I watched The Promised Neverland, Mob Psycho 100, and the other things as well. But yeah, no, I had to be annoying, and yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as well. To be fair, there was kind of a lot on my plate. But if I'm doing this show, I want to do this read and watch more as time goes on. But yeah, I really like Maggie. I really like Aladdin. I really like the blonde dude that he's with, and the pink haired girl. Like, she kicks a little bit. So yeah, definitely give Maggie a go. I'm really impressed that we'll be watching Maggie in the future. Despite the series has ended, like I said, it's nice to branch out, and watch other series and that sort of thing. Oh yeah, another side note, I will be covering Fire Force and Vinland Saga. So I don't know why, but apparently Fire Force episode 3 is not out this week, so I'll have to cover that next week. And Vinland Saga, despite I do appreciate them releasing the first 3 episodes like in one, but at the same time it's kind of annoying that we have to wait like pretty much like 4 weeks, and that opening is so good. Kill la Kill, like soundtrack, by the way, going back to Kill la Kill, it's absolutely phenomenal. And Magi, yeah, it's pretty good. I like it, like the voice acting in the Japanese version though, that it's pretty quiet and pretty mysterious and that sort of thing. That's what I really like. But I will be moving on to the English dub, just because I really like the visuals and stuff, and like the like Egyptian like type of thing going on, or like like Aladdin, the Jafar. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, it's called Aladdin. Yeah, the Disney thing called Aladdin. Like, I like that theme. I like the colours and stuff. It's really colourful. And what I've seen like from mangas and stuff, like manga like covers and that sort of thing of Muggy, like it's really like pretty and stuff. And like, it's pretty series. So yeah. Anyway, we'll be moving on to Doctor Stone episode 3 now. And yeah, we're basically, I've read the manga, by the way, so I know what happens. But yeah, we'll be talking about like what's going on in this episode. So yeah, we recently got Yukasa resurrected, of course, and yeah, just not gone. Senku and Taiju. Well, Senku, like at the beginning of the episode, was like he cannot know about the revival formula, and unfortunately Taiju coming up to him and basically saying like, oh yo, we can revive to my girlfriend, or wannabe girl, or the girl wanna be my girlfriend now because the revival thing's gone. And he's like pulls a like funny face like, you moron. Like, it, despite like Senku had to keep in mind like he didn't know, like he's not supposed to like tell Yukasa what's going on and that sort of thing, because Yukasa like is building up his own ideology and that sort of thing. um yeah, he's building up his own like ideology, and he wants to take control, like he wants to have the his own like type of world and that sort of thing, free from all the adults. And yeah, so but yeah, Senku and or the girl gets revived, which is really nice. And he doesn't, and Senku makes sure that Yukasa is not there to like interrupt or intervene or anything like that in their plans, or to see like how how the revival stuff works. But Senku's underestimating uh, Yukasa in the sense that he's actually like he knows, like he figured out like how the purification or like unstoning works by the nitric acid, I believe it's called, and it's from bats and that sort of thing, to revive like humans and that sort of thing. And he goes and he like comes back and says basically how it happens. And then Taiju tries to attack him, and then Taiju tries to attack him and try to stop him from like, because obviously he's like going around killing like um, random civilians and like not demons, like old people and stuff, to rid the world of bad corruption and just bad people in general, or there's like older people, and like just bring young people into the world to make sure that like he doesn't come corrupt, or like you know the gist of it. And then Senku, as Taiju obviously fails, Senku tries to go in for an attack with his bow and arrow, and like Senku has been um, obviously like crafting weapons behind the scenes, behind everyone's back, and just making sure that like you'll just to make sure he can take on Yukasa, but Yukasa just basically dodges it, catches it, just by going like 200 kilometers an hour, and like throws it onto the ground, and then kicks Taiju in the head. Doesn't affect him at first, then obviously goes down to the ground, and he's like trying to protect and he's like Yukasa like says like friends like the girl he wants to like go out with's life, and he just doesn't, and he obviously doesn't like that and tries to defend her, but like obviously flag backfires, goes unconscious. Yukasa goes away for a longer while, like to hunt for food and that sort of thing. I think he's like saying to him like, "Oh, it's established. I'm the Don here. Like you'll be following me. You'll be following my orders, and that sort of thing." So yeah, and it's just like that interesting dynamic. Like they don't like Senku and Yukasa don't think like of each other as like bad people or anything like that. They just just I don't know. It's just people, two different people, two different ideologies. Like don't hate each other or anything like that. It's just different personal perspectives of like what's going on and that sort of thing. So yeah. So the next thing they do is just like go away and basically like make out like they all had to run away and that sort of thing. But when all they're doing is looking for gunpowder to evolutionize, plumbing, to evolutionize the world from like to 2 million years in the future, as we are in a Stone Age basically. We used to be like 2 million years ago, and we're going to evolutionize it through the power of gunpowder. So yeah, so you can actually take down Taiju, and not rely on arrows and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Because they're pretty ineffective, and especially with only 3 people, not very like wise to like carry on like using like you know night or weapons and that sort of thing. But yeah, And then obviously then Tsukasa finds out what's going on, and yeah, he basically figures out like he's pretty like intelligent because obviously he has that like combat like survival instinct, so he instinctively knows that like what's going on and what they're planning and what their intentions are. So they won't be able to like get away with this pretty easily, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and yeah, that pretty much wraps up the episode. Really enjoyable. As I said, I've read the manga, so I pretty much know what's happening and stuff. But it's so good, man. Doctor Stone is so good as a manga and anime. I can't as long as it keeps up this pace of animation and stuff, or visuals. Um, it'll just improve from now on. Like it'll just be so much better once you get into the future of people who are on episode 3 as well. So yeah, definitely a thumbs up. Pretty much, yeah, everything this week is pretty much a thumbs up. Anyway, I pretty much want to make this show, by the way, like a really positive show. I don't want to like, unless I really despise something, I'll let you guys know about it. But yeah, next topic of discussion will be Demon Slayer episode 16. So yeah, I've wanted to do reviews on this. Like this is the reason why I'm doing the show. Like I don't know, I feel like I can just like talk to myself about it and talk to you guys obviously, and just talk about a more relaxed approach. So I don't have to be like way more like condensed and like way more specific and like I don't know, just let my natural like thoughts come out and that sort of thing. Because I don't know, you have to. It's kind of weird. Like you have to like think about what you're saying and stuff in like reviews and that sort of thing. I remember like beginning of the year when I was doing the Promised Neverland and Mob Psycho 100 reviews. I like watch the episodes and watch it again, then take notes on it and that sort of thing. I don't know. Really made. I don't know. It didn't really make it enjoyable, but I just rather have a better way of doing things, and I want to learn like to speak things, from my mind and not, have a script or anything like that. So yeah. Anyway, Demon Slayer episode 16. Jesus Christ. Due to the fact that we're watching this weekly, I do forget how like actually dark and like brutal this show is. Like it's like I'm not gonna lie, it's actually I would actually say it's almost on Attack on Titan levels, and yeah, like that's saying something. Like I don't know, like these three like other like or four like other characters and stuff. Once they didn't, or once they didn't prove to be useless, they just I don't know the like weird like spider like demon thing just like like that, like just snap their necks and kill all of them. I was depressing. I thought they were all like pretty good characters, like pretty cool side characters, and then snap, they're all gone, just like that. Um, it's not. It's just Demon Slayer is not an easy world, man. I really do give the credit to the writer when dues are when dues are owed. You know what I mean? Respect is owed. Like it's not like something that's gonna hold your hand. Like everything's gonna be okay and stuff. No, people will die in Demon Slayer, and it's bloody dark. Like people, I don't know. Like people like I really that's the sort of thing I really like about it. Like it's really dark and like Taiju being a nice, caring and like sympathetic character. Like still he is sympathetic. Like you feel sorry for him, but he feels sorry for other demons and stuff. There's like man, like such a it's such a like complex world, and having him in there and like him like showing his growth and that sort of thing, just showing him things like growth and that sort of thing is a really amazing like thing to see. I think story wise anime is a bit and underrated, but I think it's starting to like spread its wings in his latest last episode. I really felt like this is like starting to like actually progress as a story. Like we've had like the past 13 or 16 episodes or 15 episodes be really good in that, but like the animation, those due to the visuals and animation, but this latest chapter really stepped the game up, like as a story, and like I didn't really focus on like how visually amazing it is, because obviously it's visually amazing. UFO table are doing an amazing job at it, but but it really, like, the visuals, despite still being there, like, I took it back to see, if you know what I mean, and the story really progressed out, and yeah, and also the spider, which spider demon lady as well, taking a like just accepting death, like, gracefully, when Taiju comes in and like kills her, like, oh my god, and that sad face he pulls, and the reveal that she's like one of the 12 like Phineas are still there, and like obviously, like I didn't mention, but the demon demon spider lady girl, it's more of a girl, but yeah, but she was get like, got a lot of abuse, and like just had a really like, just from the backstory from just this episode, like it's such a, like a tragic like thing, like you've like her life has been nothing but misery, and she like it's basically like suicides, like she just, I don't know, she didn't like at first she was a bit skeptical, but then she just thought, like, you know, like I'm really in peace and stuff, like this could be peaceful, and I don't know, it's really sad. I don't know, really good like backstory for this episode, man. I think this is when the anime will finally pick up, unlike Black Clover. that take that you're still 50 or 55 episodes in and you still don't like it. Yeah, sorry, I had to say that, but yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know, it was done really well. I'm really happy, like I'm really happy I like watched this series. I originally wanted to watch it just for official aspect, but yeah, this episode like definitely like pushed itself in a story direction wise in a better direction. So yeah, definitely a thumbs up. I really looking forward to like talking about Demon Slayer in the future. I might stick to the anime. I'm not really sure if I'm going to watch the manga or read the manga, sorry. But bear in mind, we are still got like 9 episodes left, which is very good. So 9 more weeks of Demon Slayer. Unfortunately, it's gone. For how long, we do not know. Hopefully, UFO Table copies My Hero Academia and goes does a yearly, because that'll be great. Like Demon Slayer or Kitsumiyu no Yaiba doing a week yearly. That'll be absolutely great from my perspective. I really appreciate that. UFO Table, you know, put in the work and done it. Just basically made this, yeah, Demon Slayer their thing. It's currently on 200 chapters. I hope it's not ending anytime soon either. I really like hope this is really like into this topic of discussion as well. This is really underrated. Like we have like Black Clover and My Hero Academia, The Promised Neverland, despite that's ending soon. And what was the other one? Doctor Stone. Yeah, just was talking about it. But yeah, and like this should be like in contention, or I'm sorry if I'm using that word wrong, or should be considered to be one of the top big 3, because yeah, it's very like it's been very traditional and very like generic, not generic, but you know what I mean, like it's nothing amazingly new, but I think it's still an amazing series. So yeah, I hope going forwards I'm hoping for great things for this series. So yeah, we've got 2 subjects to go on for, and that's One Piece episodes 894 and My Hero Academia's 2 latest chapters all into one. I'll explain why. I think if you already read the chapters, you already know why. You know, I'm covering 2 chapters in one. But yeah, so Demon Slayer episode 16 now is done. Thumbs up. One Piece episode 894. Oh my god, Wano arc recently has been absolutely brilliant in anime. Like, I've been someone who's criticised the anime like loads. Like, I wouldn't recommend like watching or reading like no, I wouldn't recommend watching the anime, Tosia. the voice acting is brilliant and the soundtrack is brilliant, but it's just so much filler, and I think you know the gist. Like, not very good animation, but they've really stepped up the game in this the Wano arc, because I've noticed like in Japan, in like manga specifically dedicated to Japan culture, they really stepped the game up and like re-step the animation. Like, this is our culture, this is this is our thing, and we want to like show it off and like take pride in it and that sort of thing. Do you get what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like with Demon Slayer, that's pretty much a Japanese thing, and they're really pushing like the animation, visuals, and that sort of thing to the max. So yeah, and just like, oh man, I've actually like, we're also with Doctor Stone, I've like caught up with the manga, but also fun fact, there's a side story coming next week which I'm looking forward to. So like stay tuned for that. The One Piece side story, I'm talking about the anime, like there won't be continuation of Wano or anything like that, so keep in mind for that. And yeah, just they don't like, my opinion so far, the anime is actually better than manga, and I thought I'll never say that about One Piece. I've recently like stopped reading the manga week after week. So I don't really enjoy like reading One Piece week after week, because it's a lot of build-ups and that sort of thing. It's not a Dickens yeah, there's a lot of like building and that sort of thing, and there's like, I don't know, after this point it's very hard to keep you like entertained for like 900 chapters, you know what I mean? It's not going to be like the easiest thing in the world, you know. There's not something that I blame Oda for, it's just one of them things really, in it. And like just seeing like they really put emphasis on how like Otama's like torture and that sort of thing, and like not bringing Ace back to life, because that was a confusion unfortunately in the anime community. I understand why that preview would have been very confusing if you haven't read the manga, but yeah, unfortunately Ace is still not alive, and Otama is, and then like it really like emphasized more, I think, like the torture like Otama's going through, like just living in Wano and like doing the things he does, like with what you call it, the weaving the hats that Ace taught her, and just having a blast really. Well, not having a blast, otherwise I said that. I've been calling for 37 minutes, so give me a break. But yeah, like, and then seeing her torture when she found out that Ace died, and like drinking the contaminated water. Well, we have kind of purposely contaminated, because yeah, she what do you call it? She obviously gave Luffy all the rice and stuff. She's just such a lovely girl, and apparently she's voiced by, ironically she's voiced by Gon in the Japanese version as well. So yeah, well, the same voice actor anyway. They sound completely different, but you know what I mean. I think obviously they can just, like, change their pictures and that sort of thing. So yeah, thumbs up. Really enjoying Wano. It's, my opinion, really colourful, really great visually, and better than the anime is currently better than the manga. And I really love the fact that Ace, like, obviously I think they've done this in the manga, like Ace was like getting robbed and like tied up, and like Otama was like eating his food, and she's like he squared up to her, and he was just scared, and he just smiled at her like, well, what do you want to give for dessert? And he like ran off, and like, it's such, I don't know, such a nice reflection back on like how good of a character Ace was, like back in the past and that sort of thing, and like really brings that connection between Luffy and Ace into a bigger picture and a really nicer picture. So yeah, One Piece episode 894. Really happy it happened. Really happy about Toei finally stepping up the game and doing One Piece justice. So yeah, we'll get into manga territory, and the last subject of this podcast is My Hero Academia chapter 135 and 136. So let's get started with that. So chapter 135 and 136 of My Hero Academia. Um, this was briefly mentioned in I don't know, about 15 chapters beforehand of I can't say his name for the love. You know, the main villain of My Hero Academia, Shinimu. Shigari. I was going to call him Shigari. I do apologise. I'm definitely saying it wrong. But yeah, Shigari's backstory, and it's not very nice. And I really got to give Hirokoshi, like Demon Slayer and Hirokoshi, like with these backstories and that sort of thing, are taking up to the next level, like One Piece level, and yeah, doing really good with the backstories. And anyhow, but yeah, so like him like basically merged, like getting abused by his dad. If you don't know, like his dad abuses him because he wants to be a hero initially, but abuses him because obviously his grandmother is Nana Rashima or something like that, and she basically was the all for one carrier before All Might was, and yeah, and she's the one who unfortunately died because of because died because of what do you call it died because of All for One, and fortunately enough for the world, All Might had the quirk beforehand before it being passed down to before she died. So yeah, and then he takes it out. Basically, her son takes it out on. I'm really sorry. The hands dude takes it out on the hands dude, and slaps her about. He doesn't know why. And his sister was like, we could play heroes in the background. Dad does happen to know." And a freak accident happens, and he like gets upset, goes into the garden, hugs his dog, and then when it gets really intense and stuff, he hugs his dog, and then in his hands, his dog like incinerates like before him. Jesus Christ, that will tear me up like, so badly. And then his sister comes out, same thing happens to her. Then his mum, I think I don't know, I can't remember the grandparent. It happens to the grandparents towards her, but it happens to the grandparents as well, and they get like disintegrated as well. And then his father like just sees him with like a puddle of blood, and he tries to attack like Shiriraki. Let's go call him Shiriraki again. Sorry, and tries to attack Shiriraki, and he then out of pure pleasure he jumps on to his father and makes him rot as well. Like damn, that is so dark. Like, and he does it out of pure pleasure, and he has his father's hands. Out of all the hands and stuff, like when he's like obviously when he's covering himself up and he has all his hands on his face, his father's hand is on his face like constantly, and like oh my god, like no wonder why he's demented and stuff. Like him basically like having itches and stuff. Like oh, my itching is now gone because I've killed my abusive father, basically, and he hates everyone. I like sure like he did like his father did like beforehand like yeah I went too far and that sort of thing, but at the end of the day it didn't really matter to Shiraki. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future arcs of My Hero Academia, to see where this goes and stuff, and like the villain association like taking back control of their ranks and making their name known across the world, and yeah, just like taking back control of power and that sort of thing, and making sure they take full control. So yeah, this was like 2 chapters like in one. So yeah, I think I'll end the podcast there. Thank you very much for watching. For those who may have stuck around all those in the future. I was just curious and wanted something to listen to in the background. It's my first ever episode of Anime Smash, so yeah, I'm really happy with this. So 44 minutes. I don't think it'll be quite this long. Hopefully, I'll get better as like a podcaster and that sort of thing. I really wanted to do a podcaster. It's one of them things that like one of the hardest things of doing anime or doing anything in YouTube is actually starting off something new and like building something up from the ground. And yeah, I think I've really done a good job as the first episode. Like I know, sorry if it's been like a bit repetitive or boring, like listening to me throughout the whole of these like 45 minutes or so. But yeah, I'm really like, like it's really exhausting. Like trying to, I don't know, it's not exhausting to us, yeah, but it's just like trying to figure out what to say and that sort of thing. Anyway, guys, that'd be it today. Oh, this week's first ever Anime Smash podcast. I really hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all the good stuff. I'll try my best to do this next week. It does take a lot out of me. What I might do is do things and record them like during the week, and then like compile them into compilation altogether for Anime Smash. So I can basically like talk about other animes and stuff like I've been watching during this week. Like this space, like I said, is basically like a vlog, and yeah, I'm hoping to do things like this in the future. And hopefully, I want to get other YouTubers to do it. That'd be quite fun as well. Like, I like if you want to like if you think my idea is pretty good by the way, and you want to steal it, go ahead. I don't mind people using my ideas or whatever. Like helping brothers out, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that'd be it today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Luther Murdoch. Is there anything else I want to add before I depart? Yeah, pretty much just stay tuned. Hey guys, love you all. See you next time. Peace.